everybody. Felesha Love on the Felesha Love Show. You know, you probably heard all of the hype with Zoe Williams and comedian Ari Spears. I have the pleasure of getting a short interview with Zoe Williams to talk about his take on events. But you know what? This is going to be an interesting interview because for those of you who know me, you know that I'm not all about the dirt, the down and dirty. I'm about trying to move from it and get better. And when I was researching Zoe Williams, I was thinking, oh my gosh, our platforms are so freaking similar because he's all about relationships. He's all about cultivating healthy, intimate relationships. But what's interesting about what's going on with Zoe is that he's out in the public. So I just tweeted something just a little while ago. And I said, you know, what does Donald Trump, Evelyn and Kendra and Tyrese and Zoe all have in common? And you know what it is? It's the fact that they get to live their lives in public, number one. And number two, they get to learn from their mistakes in public. Zoe Williams, everybody. Now, you're going to laugh at me, but I travel across the country, and I'm not going to mention the airline, although I should because they owe me a computer. They dropped my computer, so it's doing this little dance thing. So I'm going to have to hold on to it. Don't laugh at me. Zoe, wow. Thanks so much for taking the opportunity to talk to me. And I have to give the heads up to Valerie Denise Jones as well for hooking us up together. So what I would like to know from you is, because you're in the public eye, the one thing that's not talked about very frequently is how we cope with having our lives in public, number one. And number two, you know, how do you regroup from that?
Sometimes you just have to unplug. You know, we're a society that we're always holding our cell phone. We always have our computer, our iPads, our laptops. Everything is just so connected. Sometimes you have to disconnect, you know, and I mean really disconnect, turn the phone off, turn the computer off, and go outside. Just go outside and reconnect and, you know, see what your life is like outside of a Facebook profile, right, or an Instagram profile or a Twitter profile. You know, see who you are outside of likes and comments.
How about that? Okay, so what I want to dive into really quickly is it seemed as though, from looking at the video, that part of the problem was disagreeing with the whole Obama thing. And also, it seemed as though once things got heated, you just lost focus. Not you, but, you know, the whole situation just went left. We find ourselves in that in everyday life, no matter if we are, I'm going to flip this so that I can get together again, guys. I'm sorry about the technical difficulty, but the sister is just doing what she needs to do so it can get better. But we find ourselves in those situations at work, with our relationships, both intimate and in the community, politically, all of that. So what would you say as a relationship coach that we need to pay attention to just as individuals? So we're taking out the celebrity part and talking, you know, we're going to bring it to ground level, to earth, and talk about how people can cope individually with their own lives.
You got to do what I failed to do in that situation. And, you know, I always tell people, the people you rely on, the people you look up to are not perfect. They're flawed. They have their moments. Pastors are not without sin. You know, politicians are not without corruption. And I'm not speaking in absolutes. You're going to find a good pastor somewhere. You're going to find a good politician somewhere. But we have to stop idealizing the public figure, number one. Number two, this is what I would tell people to do, and I lost sight of in that moment. You got to always stay connected to the fact that somebody might be going through something that's more important or more devastating or more impactful than what you're going through currently.
Absolutely.
And in that moment that I lost sight of that, I lost control. Mm-hmm. That's another human being. That's another person who has his own set of problems and issues.
Right.
And when you lose sight of that, that's when, your personal train can go off the rails.
That's right. That's absolutely right. So taking a step back before it gets escalated. So what I always tell people is notice when you are on 10, and use that as the backup, not the move forward, because it is said that when we're in anger, that's like being insane, because we're really not thinking as clearly as we could,
Right. Right. Frontal lobe hijack is what it's called in some circles.
Yeah.
The frontal lobe is where all of your empathy, communication, emotion, that's where all of that is. And then you have the limbic system, which is the old reptilian brain near the stem.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the response portion of the brain. If something happens, it is stimulated. It hijacks the thinking, rational mind, and it goes into survival mode. That is the flight or fight section of the brain, the limbic system.
Mm-hmm.
And it happens to us in intimate relationships. It happens to us at work when we feel disrespected or we didn't get the promotion we wanted. We're not getting the respect we need at home. A lot of times it happens. And at the end of the day, like I said, we're human beings. We have to make space for that in our relationship. Sometimes a person will lead by way of their accomplishments.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I have expectations for you because you have this degree.
Right.
Or I have expectations for you because you've accomplished this.
Mm-hmm.
And you should never do this. Well, anybody who says you should never do anything is speaking in absolutes, and they paint themselves in a corner. Life is gray. Life is flexible. It is not rigid. So when we have these rigid expectations of the public figures that we look up to, we have to understand these people are human beings just like we are. They put their pants on one leg at a time just like we do. So
absolutely.
That's what I would tell people. Don't lose sight that somebody could be going through a difficult time just like you are.
I absolutely agree. So reality TV is not reality, folks. That's basically what Zoe is telling you. When you're in the spotlight, especially when you're in the spotlight, you've got a lot of things going on at one time. It's not just, you as the professional. It's you as the husband, the wife, the partner, the business partner, everything. And so some days are easier than other days. Let me ask you something, Zoe. I heard about the whole light skin, dark skin thing, and that's something that's prevalent in our community. And it's something that I think we need to stop laughing about and really address, because it is a form of disrespect, people. For those of you who are listening to me, it is a form of disrespect. And at what point will we elevate ourselves as a community to start respecting ourselves? What's your take?
Wow. I call it intra-racial racism.
Yes.
And within our own group, there's this intra-racial racism that's happening. And it's disrespectful. Yeah, we got it from the slave master. But at the end of the day, we have to give it back to the slave master.
Right.
If we're going to move forward. Black men are black men regardless of color, hue. You trying to tell me the Honorable Louis Minister Farrakhan is not a black man? He's light-skinned. Mm-hmm. You trying to tell me the Honorable Elijah Muhammad wasn't a black man? He's light-skinned. You trying to tell me Dr. Phil Valentine isn't a black man? He's light-skinned. There are a lot of strong black men. Thurgood Marshall. Yep. There are a lot of strong black men who were light-skinned. But that didn't make them any less black. They were raised black. They were raised by black mamas. They were raised in black society, raised by black culture. Mm-hmm. And that just lets you know the level of disease that still persists in our mind as we view each other. And I tell brothers all the time, one thing black people got to do is stop deriving power from putting each other down.
Oh, say it again. Say it again.
We got to stop deriving and extrapolating power from putting each other down.
Thank you.
I know that's low-hanging fruit. But black people ain't going to do nothing to white people. So we come home with our frustration from white people and do it to black people.
Do it to ourselves,
and we have to stop that. And I'm guilty because I lost sight of what I was supposed to do. I lost sight of my square. And I'm upset about it. I'm embarrassed about it. And I'm apologetic for it as well.
Right, right.
But it's something we've got to get away from.
So would you say that that's the one thing that is, or one of the major things that's holding us back from being a stronger community as black people? That level of respect. I just hear it all the time. I hear it in school.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, I hear it in school. I hear it in our families. I hear it in church. I hear that word is just prevalent throughout, even in relationships. So what are you looking for as a black man, from one black man to another, in terms of respect? What is it that you want to tell everybody out there that will get us a level further than we are today?
We've forgotten what respect actually means. The word itself deals with consideration. But we don't consider anything we don't value. So when we don't value each other, there's no way we can respect each other. And I've heard people say, oh, well, we could fix all of this if we start doing the recycling of black dollars. And that is a viable solution. However, you can't do business with other black people if they don't value black people.
Yes.
So doing business business deals with commerce. Commerce is value. But if you got two people who don't value each other, then now there's two mercenaries doing business, looking to take advantage of each other when one person falters in any way, shape, or form. In order for us to be effective at recycling black dollars, we have to change the narrative of how we see each other. Respect for each other has to take over Christianity's spot as our religion.
Wow.
What if respect was our religion over Christianity, over Islam, over the Hebrew Israelite, all the things we believe in and give so much energy and power to? And this is no disrespect to any religion, but I'm saying, what if we held respect for one another in as high regard as we do for Jesus or for Muhammad, or you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what we need. That's what we need. And we could never do real business if we don't consider respect and honor each other.
And you know what really is very, very thought-provoking? That is the one thing that we're demanding from everyone else across the globe. But we are truly struggling as a race within our families to respect each other, to have compassion for one another, to have empathy for one another, to be able to disagree without, throwing bows, right?
I always say it, and it's hurtful. It's hurtful. But we got to learn that power outside of us is really only designed to keep us where we are. Power from within allows us to grow with an identity that is self-created and self-maintained.
If you dare to go there. If you dare to go there. And a lot of people are afraid of themselves. A lot of people are afraid of the truth that they have in their hearts for, their community or for their brother. They're fearful. And that's what my platform is all about. My Spirit Fitness is all about getting people to see that they can reclaim their power in the ways that they can do it. And it certainly isn't to point fingers, because we're all human.
Absolutely. Like I said, we are in such a bad way, and I've said it a lot. There's that old saying, to err is human, to forgive is divine. The space between us as brothers and sisters and brothers, we so messed up in the head, we don't even give each other space to error.
Nope.
So that means we don't even give each other space to be human.
Nope.
We don't even give each other space to make a flaw.
Nope.
There is no forgiveness in the black community for the most part. But we quick to forgive other people. People walk into the church and shoot up everybody in the church and we forgive them. But when it's black on black, we don't forgive black on black. Because black is where we derive power from. If I put you down and I financially shame you, or I slut shame you, right? I can do all of this to you and feel bigger because I did it to you.
That's it.
But you can't financially shame no white man.
Mm-hmm.
The white man ain't even wearing the designer clothes you wearing because he's the one who's manufacturing them. You can't shame him, but you can shame another brother for not having the latest iPhone. Or you can shame this sister for dressing a certain way. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, we derive power from putting each other down. Because of that, we don't give each other space to be human. Every time you cross me, I'm looking to get you back.
Yeah. And I think that's why, reality TV and entertainment is the way it is because we're feeding off of feeling better about ourselves from somebody else's downfall. But, I'm here to tell you that we are all in this together. And even though, I don't live in your house and I'm not of your immediate family, I'm certainly a part of the human family. And in order for us to elevate as a community, a black community, and then as humans that are really contributing to this world, we've got to get out of the mindset of being helpless and hopeless, number one, because you absolutely have power over your life. It's just changing your mindset. That's all it is. And the other thing is stop putting people on a pedestal. Even in intimate relationships, and you can speak to this because you have several books. Would you tell us the name of those books again?
Well, the book that's out currently is The Relationship Dismount, How to Stick the Landing When Exiting a Toxic Relationship. And then the forthcoming book is The Holographic Relationship, a deeper look at the connection between God, intimacy, and consciousness.
And that is huge.
Yeah.
That's
that book
huge.
Will be out in September at the earliest and November at the latest.
Oh, that's awesome. And that's huge because just as we're saying, we are taking power, accumulating power from people's downfalls, even in intimate relationships. It's like I get married to you and then I put you on this pedestal, and the moment you mess up, the moment you get out of your humanness, there's a problem. Right. And we've got to stop that.
The pedestal is based on an expectation. The expectation is based on an ideal. Mm-hmm. And many people date their ideas more than they date the person.
Yeah,
the person is just there to fulfill the idea, right? To fulfill the expectation. And I tell brothers and sisters, don't date your idea, date the real.
I love it. I love it. You know what, Zoe Williams, thanks so much for coming on the show and talking to me and my audience as well. I really appreciate you. I wish you the best. And I would hope that we can all push past our flaws, our individual flaws, and embrace our humanness and just strive to be better.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. I lost you. My computer's acting crazy. Oh, there he is. Acting crazy though, guys. But thanks again, Zoe Williams. And I'm going to ask you if you would be on the Felesha Love Show. It's an hour-long show, though. I'm going to give you an opportunity to take a breather with all of the stuff that's going on in your life. I am. I acknowledge that. But I would like to have you on for an hour and talk more about your book and your coaching. And, just because we take a platform in life, it doesn't mean that it excludes us from living our lives. So just because you have taken the platform to be a relationship coach and a entertainer, a DJ, does not take the humanness away from us to have to actually live our lives. So, and
absolutely,
I know that very well. But thank you so much. And where can people find you and your show?
I'm at Dash Radio, Dash I'm in Dash Radio Studios right now.
Awesome.
Dash Radio is an app. You can download it on the iTunes and the Google Play platforms, or you can go to dashradio.com. I'm here 4 times a week. I have a Monday morning show called The So What Show from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Okay.
And then I have another show, evening show here called The Voice of Reason from 5 to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And, of course, you can find all the times and shows on my website, IamZoeWilliams.com.
Perfect. And I'm going to put a link to me. I do a 2-minute vignette of wellness shows called the My Spirit Fitness Wellness Moment. And I am offering it to radio stations across the country as syndicated. And it's just like an infomercial to remind people to, be authentic, to, remember how to stress less, all of that fun stuff. Much of what you do anyway, but mine is prepackaged, so all you have to do is air it. But I'm going to send it to you, okay, just so that you can take a look at it. Let me know what you think.
Got it.
All right. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you. Much love to you. Thanks, guys, so much. I'm Felesha Love with the Felesha Love Show. Thanks for joining me, and I wish you well.
My Spirit Fitness, covering all corners of wellness to help you balance career and family, relationships, and quality life. Thank you for liking, following, sharing, Google Plusing, watching, and listening to My Spirit Fitness. See what's new and answer today's wellness poll. Log on to myspiritfitness.com.